We can cross live now to Cape Town, where the Minister of Finance, Enoch Godongwana, is delivering his budget speech to members of the National Assembly. The budget speech will provide details of spending and make proposals about how the priorities outlined in the President's State of the Nation address will be funded. The budget will also outline the funds to be allocated to different spheres of government, department, and state entities.
The Office of the Chief Justice received an additional 39.9 million. The South African National Road Agency receives an additional 9.9 billion for maintaining the non-toll road network. Over and above this, the budget facility for infrastructure has approved funding for several water projects. 2.1 billion is allocated for raising the wall of the Klein Willem Dam. The Lipile water border is allocated 1.4 billion for the Olifantsfontein Ebenezer plants. The Umgeni Water Board is allocated 813 million for the Lower Umkomazi water supply chain scheme. I'm pleased to announce that the project to maintain 6 border posts, including Bait Bridge, is at an advanced stage of preparation. Feasibility studies have been completed and a request for proposal will be issued in March 2022. Madam Speaker, we watch in outrage and sadness as flames devour the buildings in which our Constitution was born. I'm gratified to learn of the enthusiasm of South Africans who want to be part of rebuilding Parliament. I'm looking forward to truly a national effort for this. The Department of Social Development will receive the largest allocation of 58.6 billion over the medium term for the following. First, to initiate a new extended child support grant for double orphans. This is to encourage the care of orphans within families rather than foster care. Second, to provide inflationary increases to permanent social grants. For 2022-23 fiscal year, the old age, war veterans, disability, and care dependence grants will increase by 90 rand in October. The foster care and child support grants will increase by a once-off 20 rand in April. Thirdly, 44 billion rand is allocated for a 12-month extension of the 350 social relief grant, total distress grant. Honourable members, the social relief distress grant was introduced in 2021 as a temporary relief measure in view of the plight of those who have lost economic opportunities and were adversely affected during the worst periods of the pandemic. These emergency grants added to the country's already extensive social safety net. South Africa now pays grants to more than 46% of the population. Finally, the 2022-23 contingency reserve is increased by a 5 billion rand. This provides for an amount already approved in the previous budget for the land bank to be paid in the new financial year. We remain committed, if I may come back to the land bank issue, precisely because of the difficulties in settling with the lenders on time. We couldn't make the transfer during this financial year. Progress is being made in settling with the lenders, and we think by the beginning of the financial year, we'll make progress, and we're making that 5 billion available for the next financial year. We remain committed to controlling those parts of the budget that are permanent in nature, including by arresting historical rapid increase in the public sector wage bill. Compensation spending will increase marginally from 665.1 billion in 2021-22 to 702 billion in 24-25, at an average annual rate of 1.8%. As indicated in 2021 medium-term budget policy statement, we have allocated additional funding of 20.5 billion rand in 2022-23 to meet the cost of implications of the 2021 Public Service Wage Agreement. A public sector labour summit is scheduled to take place as from the 28th to the 31st of March. This summit is an important opportunity for stakeholders to engage in building sustainable public services and remuneration guidelines. Basic municipal services require more support, especially for the poor. To address this, 28.9 billion is added to the local government's equitable share. Madam Speaker, we are making these allocations to uplift and provide services to our people. These funds must be used for the purpose they are meant for. Currently, 175 out of the 257 municipalities are in financial distress. We stand ready to work with Parliament and all oversight bodies to hold municipalities accountable for delivery of these services. At the same time, our municipalities and other institutions cannot survive if they do not receive payment from those who consume their services. We urge our people and government departments to pay their municipality bills. Municipalities are also required to improve their service delivery mechanism and to ensure that billing systems are fair and efficient. Madam Speaker, corruption is a major blight in our country. It has lowered our economic growth potential, made us fiscally more vulnerable, and severely weakened the capacity of the state. Accounting officers need to ensure that their procurement processes have integrity, provide value for money, and are free from interference from political people like me. We also need to be clear on what we are fighting. We must differentiate between corruption and minor transgressions and the rules of policy or rules of policy prescribed that are audited or as irregular expenditure. The National Treasury is engaging with Auditor General to continue to ensure transparent disclosures of minor transgression, but outside the financial audit process. As I indicated last year, the Public Procurement Bill will be tabled before this Parliament. In the light of the current Constitutional Court judgment on the preferential procurement regulations and the first Zondo Commission report highlighted abuses in state procurement, we are revising the bill to take account of these developments. We are also responding formally to the Zondo Commission report. In the meantime, we must take bold steps to improve state capacity and reduce the scope of procurement corruption. Working with SARS, the Investigative Directorate in the Office of National Director of Public Prosecution has brought charges against company director and a Gupta associate involved in the corrupt Estina dairy project. This is on charges of fraudulent VAT refund claims, under declaration of plant and equipment expenses, exchange control violations. SARS is also recovering the fraudulent refunds that were claimed. We're also dealing with illicit trade. Just yesterday, SARS conducted a search and seizure operation. This operation uncovered another consignment of illegal tobacco products, bringing in the total of value of illicit tobacco seized during the pandemic to over 350 million. Overall, SARS has raised assessment of 18 billion additional duties, cancelled the trading licenses of 3 operators, liquidated 1 operator, and referred 18 cases for criminal prosecution. Finally, we are addressing the weaknesses in fighting fraud and money laundering identified in our recent mutual evaluation or our anti-monetary laundering system by what is called the Financial Action Task Force, what is called FACT. Madam Speaker, households and businesses are still under financial... No, it's how it is spelled. are still under financial pressure and are coping with higher obligations, the effects of COVID-19 and increased fuel prices. Now is not the time to increase taxes and put the recovery at risk. Accordingly, we have decided to keep money in the pockets of South Africans. This budget includes a 5.2 billion in tax relief to help support the economic recovery, provide some receipt for fuel tax increases, and boost incentive for youth employment. Madam Speaker, our tax proposal for 2022-23 are as follows. The personal income tax bracket and rebates will be adjusted by 4.5% in line with inflation. The adjustment will mean that the annual tax-free threshold for a person under the age of 65 will increase from 87,300 to 91,250. What in practice, Tatu Mandash, it means tiqala ukukutaxa xa ufikele ku-9 xa annual salary yakho ingaphansi ko-91,000 ndikutax. Tsho loo nto ke mntana. Yena ndizamteka. Medical tax credits will increase from 332 to 347 rand per month for first two members, and from 224 to 234 per month for additional members. The employment tax incentives will be expanded through a 50% increase in the maximum monthly value to 1,500. I encourage small and medium firms to take up this incentive. We anticipate that the expansion will provide additional support worth of 2.2 billion rand. In 2021, the inland petrol price breached 20 rand per litre. The high price has put pressure on the cost of transport, food and other goods and services. To provide some relief to households, no increases will be made to this general fuel levy and petrol diesel for the 2023. This will provide a tax relief of 3.5%. A good limit in speech. I want to be generous. So that's 3.5 billion to South Africans. There will also be no increase in the, but before stepping the fuel increase, a sentence I've not inserted here. I've had discussion with the Minister of Mineral and Energy. We are in agreement. We've set up teams. The intention is to review the fuel price, its structure moving forward. Because the intention is to make sure that we can have a petrol price which is competitive for this economy. So our teams will make this and will make the announcement in due course. There will also be no increases in the road accident fund. No increase again. There is no increase on the accident levy. I've made the point between myself and Minister Mandasha to agree on the review of all aspects of the fuel price is needed. Our team have already begun to engage on this critical work. Restructuring the corporate income tax system is an important part of our efforts to create a conducive environment to business to grow, increase investment, and employ more people. As announced in the 2021 budget, the corporate income tax rate will be reduced from 28% to 27% for companies with the years of assessment ending on or after the 31st of March 2023. This will be complemented by a base broadening measure to ensure that there is no negative impact on revenue. Excise duties on alcohol and tobacco will unfortunately increase by between 4.5% and 6%. The increase means that as from today, at 340 millimeter can of beer or cider will cost 11 cents more. A 750 bottle of wine will be 7 cents more expensive. A bottle of sparkling wine will cost an additional 76 cents. A bottle of spirit, ababethu ke shaya no ke whiskey, asibahlanga, the 4.83, 4.83 cents.
Live from Cape Town, South Africa's Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana delivering the 2022 budget speech there.